Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. Last time, I worked on this bit of side hair on the upper right turn, and I think it's mostly looking good. I've got a couple of things I want to fix though, as per usual. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with those, just doing a little bit of quick staring to make sure that I have all my ideas properly working in my head. It's good to know what you want to do before you actually go try to do it. Very helpful. So yeah, I just noticed that there was a couple of little spots around the eyes here that I wanted to adjust. There's a small angle change around here where you see that the angle is sharper right here before it goes very straight through here. So trying to kind of get that feeling there. It's not quite as sharp here just because of how I did it, but it's still there. So I wasn't quite satisfied with that, but most other things in this area are pretty okay. So let's see, I want to fix the angle change here, and then the other thing that I noticed was some stuff around the little strands at the end there. A little bit right there. Just a little bit. And we're gonna leave her partially bald for a while longer, so that this way I can really drill into this bit of hair over here without any distractions. It's just easier to see when there's no other hair around. And this area is already pretty hard to work with, so I do not mind making things a little bit easier on myself. So today I'm probably going to be going and doing this part in the lower right turn, and I am still kind of dreading it. Oh my goodness, the lower corners for this area have just been an absolute nightmare. The lower left, I think it took me like 3 days to get that right, and that is just ridiculous. So I hope that the lower right goes better than the lower left did. Can't go much worse, so it should be okay. And I'm also hoping that the other bit of side hair goes better than this one did. This one was not kind to me at all. Art is definitely like that sometimes, though. Alright, I think that's about what I wanted there. Yeah, that's much better. Make sure it's still lining up here. Oh, if anything, it's a little bit low there. Okay, that's good. That means I can probably get away with a little bit more than I was expecting. Okay, cool. I thought that where this parting of the hair here happened was a little bit lower down and closer to her eye, but it's actually quite high up at this angle. So I've got a little bit more wiggle room. Then the next Infinity Nikki patch was announced today. I forget when the maintenance for that is, but if I decide to stream it, I'll be sure to announce it ahead of time, unlike last time, where I just, you know, randomly decided, hey, let's do this. Let's go. I will try to schedule a day and maybe even figure out how scheduled streams work. Yes. If I decide to. Yeah, it looks like it's another small patch, and I was really hoping that they'd be dropping the housing system soon. Because that seems like something I could derp around with for a while, but doesn't look like they're planning on doing that just yet. This just looks like another little mini patch, but at the very least, there'd be a few platforming challenges to derp around with. Fortunately, another 5-star that I'm not super interested in pulling for, but that's okay. Once again, I am just way more interested in the free stuff that they're teasing. It looks way cooler. Yeah, I probably will bring in some more game stuff, even if I am not sure if I want to do this little mini Nikki patch or anything. I'm still deciding. But I do plan to bring more games into the future. I was just hoping that I'd be able to start multi-streaming on Twitch first. But I gotta say that dealing with getting the chat on screen is a thing. Because, like, if I'm trying to stream on multiple platforms, you know, I'd want both, or neither, or something. I don't know, man. But I can't find any that makes it look nice, because Twitch doesn't like it when you have multiple chats up on screen, and there's a whole kerfluffle there, and I'm still trying to work my way through it. That's the big thing that's taking a while, so I'm debating if I want to continue to have the chat on screen and various things like that. I don't know, man. I feel like this entire thing is just way harder than it needs to be because Twitch doesn't like that there's competition, I guess. But at least on the art end of things, well, I'd like to say things are going well, but no, things have been kind of a mess the past week, too. Oh, man. It's like, I think it looks good. I think that I've managed to put together something pretty good. It's just, oh my goodness, this strand. This strand, man. I think it has something against me. I'm wondering if I accidentally insulted its mother or something. Because it just seems deeply offended for no reason at all. But I'm still hoping I can finish most of it today. We'll see how the lower right treats me. So far, my corrections on the upper right are not going quite as smoothly as I was hoping, but such things happen. I haven't even gotten down to the strand yet, which is the part that I thought would be the hard part. I thought that starting up here would be fairly straightforward, but here we are. just sad because every time that I feel like I start lining things up here, I either get rid of that little angle change that I wanted to put in the first place, or something doesn't line up quite right with the right turn. So maybe I need to change something in the right turn, but I didn't think so. I thought it looked pretty okay. Yeah, still seems pretty fine. It's just not cooperating with me. That's alright. Art does that sometimes, but as always, I still have full control over this little world that I am creating, and I will win eventually. The vertices can try to elude me for some time, but it doesn't matter. Their struggle is futile. Just realizing that the outer part of the front bang there was not quite aligned properly either, which probably was not helping my case when it comes to aligning stuff over here. It's okay. Sometimes there are just problems all around. And recognizing them for what they are is the first step. Yeah, I can see why I didn't want it like that, though. Yeah, let's actually back that up a bit, because I think this one actually looks better, and what I want to fix is on my right turn. See if I could explain what I was seeing before, after I adjust this here, but basically, when I saw her head moving back and forth, when it was going up and down, I was noticing that this side bang was shrinking a little bit, so I wanted to fix that. That's doing a little bit better now. But then when I went back and forth across here, I noticed that it looked like this part of the bang here was moving to the left. And considering her head was moving to the right, that doesn't really make sense. So I wanted this to move with her head, as opposed to against it, because that's just kind of weird. So I guess I have a few adjustments to make there too. I actually still see a little bit of it up here too. Mostly right through here. Which might be contributing to why I was having trouble getting the place where the hair kind of splits apart there looking right as well. Okay, that seems better. Probably have to fix that down here too, but that's okay. There is going to be a lot to fix down here. Yes. Yes, there is. I guess I'll do a little bit of that now while I'm here and thinking about it. Try not to look down too low, because I know that everything is going to squirm down there and it's going to make me feel sad. So I will just try to keep my eyes up here and away from the problems that I already know exist. They cannot hurt me if I do not look at them. It'll be okay. So I'll just fix this and then go back to my corrections on the upper right. Okay, this seems alright, so let me make sure that I like my side hair there by her eyes, because that was looking okay. No, still need to do a little bit more. I think I have the angle in the right place, I just need to slide the hair up a little bit here. I guess saying I had the angle in the right place is not entirely accurate. I had it probably on the right vertex, is what I meant, but the vertex itself was sliding downward. So I just needed to push it back up. Such things that I do often. Okay, yeah, I think that's good now, so now I can go look at some of these other parts over here that I was seeing. Let's see what I got here. I'm debating on whether or not this is something that has to change. There's a little bit of wiggling there, but I think it's actually fine. Maybe just a tad at the top would look a little bit nicer. Just like right there. Get that line a little bit straighter here. Okay. So now this strand. Basically what I was saying is that something right here is being stretched out a little bit, and like this entire thing over there needs to move to the right a little bit. Well, not the whole thing. This point is correct. It's just right here that's a bit off. Yeah, I can still see it. We make sure that everything above here is fine, because I wasn't entirely sure about some stuff up there. So I want to do some staring. I'm just gonna stare at this for a minute here and figure out what I need to adjust. Okay, I was saying what was lurking underneath here. It looks like something through that area is just covered up over here, but I'm not quite sure by what. I don't think it's super noticeable, though. I think it's probably okay like that. Yeah, I think that's okay. I just had to think about it for a second. That's okay. It's good to think about these things. Just know what you're okay with and what you're not. So even though it's maybe not strictly 100% correct, I think it looks fine. I don't think anybody is going to notice some of those strange patterns in the hair unless I explicitly tell them. It just looks like more hair texture. Okay, and that all seems fine. So now back down here. Let's see about fixing that strand. I see the problem a little bit more clearly when I look from the top. So I will use that to check to see if everything is working the way that I want it to. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better. I'm gonna go ahead and consult the mesh for a little bit of help in where some of these vertices down the middle should be going. Some of them don't feel like they're quite in the right spot. Yes, yes. I can see it now. This one more here, this one a little bit more like here. Just gotta move them very, very carefully. Be very gentle with those little vertices. They don't need to move too much. Just a tiny little push and they'll be fine. Okay, and now I just feel like it's shrinking. So I want to put a little bit more thickness into this hair here. Just pull those ones down just a little. Yeah, that's better. That is so much better. Not completely 100% yet. But it is so much better. Still just being very, very careful. I don't want to move things too much. Doesn't need to move far. I just wanted to move a little bit to the right with the rest of the head. Yeah, there we go. Okay, here's still not quite right though. The shadow is getting a little bit thinner than I think it should. Here's a vertex, like right there, that needs to go to the left. I think that is close enough. Alright, let's take another look here. See if everything else is shaping up the way I want it to. Pretty close. Okay. Now I just need to fix up this bottom strand a bit. I'm gonna stare at that quite a bit again, just because there were a few things. The first is definitely that this needs to come out a little bit longer. Right now it is getting smaller when I go from the right turn to the upper right turn. But I also saw some stuff like through here and here that I really, really want to double check on. Okay, I think I have some ideas. And as always, I prefer to work from the top to the bottom. So that means that I'm going to be starting up here. And just gradually working my way down. Okay. Now I think I can work my way down through the tip here. I know I said that it needs to be longer, but it needs to be longer through here. Whereas over here, these vertices need to climb this way. And with that, everything should look a little bit better. Okay, slid it too far. It went a little bit too far up the strand, so now I gotta send these guys back a bit. But I thought all my other changes looked pretty good. I'm just gonna work on perfecting the length and thickness of this tiny little strand here. Just the very tip of this. The things that probably make this part the most annoying to work with. Well, these tiny little strands, man. I guess the hair has to end somewhere. But every time I have to work on it, I'm just, like, internally screaming. Okay, most of the way there. I still think through here looks okay. Looks a little bit weird to my eyes sometimes, but I actually think that is the way it should be. Okay, I think that is good. So now it is time for the dreaded lower left. Ah! Why? Okay. One step at a time, I moved a bunch of stuff, and I guess it only makes sense that it would not align at all. This is why I've been afraid. Okay. I'm gonna start with the edge by her eye. Just gotta suppress the internal screaming for a second. Have a little bit more of a subdued external scream, but it's okay. We'll get that hair on. It will be attached. Gonna grab some of these big movements that I need to do first, and then I'll worry about getting into details. So I'm just gonna do kind of the bare minimum here. I'm not even gonna worry about really properly making things look nice for the moment. Okay, I gotta get this now. It needs to... This whole thing just needs to come, like, way over here. Okay, probably leave it there for the time being. It is not entirely correct, but it is not so wrong that it's driving me nuts. And that is pretty much where I want things right now. I want to get all of these big things into place, and then I will worry about all the details, because right now there's just so many things wrong that I gotta start somewhere. Okay. Now I think I can get back to that area around her eyes, and things should be squirming a little bit less hard. Yes, a little bit less hard. Looking at it no longer makes me want to cry. So, that is an excellent first step. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Okay, I think I have to kind of start aligning this tiny strand before I can do too much more. You can see when I moving things around, I'm just like, okay, which part is driving me the most insane? What do I have to fix, like, right now if I want to have any hope of getting anything done here? That is basically how I'm treating it right now. Okay, yeah, so far I'm getting somewhere. Probably going to be repeating stuff like that for a while. I have to kind of tell myself that things are going. But I do think that they are. I'm getting there. Okay. So I think everything is in place well enough that while it is totally wrong and still needs a ton of work, that I can kinda start from the top and start working my way down. I can start doing details. Let me just lengthen this a little bit, and I think I'll be good to go. Okay, let's start really getting in there now. So let me plan my avenue of attack here. And get a good stretch. Okay. So, I do think that the area by her eye is always just a super excellent place to start. I also see a little bit on the back of her head there that I never properly lined up here. This is above this line, so I kind of want to get everything above there, just right here. I think some of it is just that normally I have hair on over here, and I don't right now. So certain things are a little bit more noticeable. Okay, that seems okay. So now I'm gonna go in the hair over her eye for real this time. Let's just really get that in there. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Now that the hair around her eyes is starting to move a little bit more nicely. I'm trying to make sure to have that angle change, of course. But things are driving me a little bit less crazy now. Okay, seems okay. I'm just really making sure here. Because I'm not actually sure if this line has the proper angle here. So I'm really scrutinizing that. But I think most of it is actually just vertex stretching and whatnot. Just a few that I needed to move up a little bit. And then right here. Right here needs to come out just a tad. I'm always amazed by how much more fine I made it up here compared to down here. Not sure why I did that, but I sure did. I definitely, in the future, want to try to keep the meshes a little bit more consistent. I'm hoping that with the release of 0.9, I'll have better luck with the auto mesh, or at the very least, might take some time to figure out how to use it better and then edit it for my own purposes. Because just having evenly spaced vertices, I think, would help a lot, and that's not something I can really do. If that makes sense, with like no rulers, no guidelines, or anything like that. It's actually really, really hard for the human brain to place things perfectly evenly apart. And I think just by having things be a more consistent distance from each other and my triangles be a more consistent angle, that I'll have a lot less trouble with moving things around in my meshes in the future. So I would really, really like to learn how to use the auto mesh. Because computers just have an easier time doing that than humans do. Okay, yeah, I think this is good now. So next is going to be this part. Let's take a look at that highlight. I actually feel like I got it decent. No, it still needs to move a little bit more to the right. But where things are relative to other things in that strand, I think actually looks okay. But I just gotta move the whole thing over a little bit more. Yeah. Alright, so I'm just gonna carefully guide it into place here. Just some bits on the top that I wasn't quite happy with. And I moved things around a lot, so yes, this is no longer lining up vertically, so I gotta fix that too. That's alright, after getting this a good shape, I think that part should actually be relatively straightforward. So let's push this whole thing down. Yeah, that's a little better. Let's see, I still feel like some stuff over there is moving upward a bit. So I will slide some of these other vertices down too. And some of that might actually be on the other layer, but I'm going to start here, because I think it's probably on both. Lining up these things is always a little bit tricky. I'm actually going to consult the mesh here. Where is... Okay, so I did move them down a little bit too low. Good to know. So basically I'm just trying to get this spot like right there, and then the gradient where it turns from purple into white, all lined up, so that this way it doesn't look like the gradient is suddenly getting a little bit taller when she turns her head to the side. Because that would just be ridiculous. I might need to poke at both of these a little bit more. How are things over here anyway? Maybe not as clean as I would prefer, but I think it looks okay. Okay, back over here. Okay, so I think up here is good now. So now I'm going to continue down and start getting this area right. This area needs to be a little bit thicker. Through these pink parts and through the parts after the pink parts. Just all through here. Little bit more thickness. Okay. Not quite like that, but I think I need to adjust the back here before I can properly get into that. So I was kind of using the back of the strand to help me figure out where certain things should go. And it was wrong, so I need to fix that too. Very doable though. Yeah, the top is getting there. Probably going to be moving things back and forth a little bit. It typically takes me a couple of tries to get all of this just right. So this is pretty normal. And frankly, this entire area has not been especially pleasant to work with. So this is going well compared to how some of the other angles have been going. So all I can really do is take it nice and slow, one step at a time, and try not to get ahead of myself. Make sure that things are the way that I want them to be before I move on to the next area. Because otherwise I'll probably just be giving myself a little bit more of a hard time. But looking at the time, I think I have reasonable odds of being able to finish off this entire strand today. And that makes me happy. It would be nice to just be able to put this strand of hair behind me now. I am so ready to do something else. But I also don't want to leave this just looking really bad. So that is my dilemma. Yeah, and you can see that I feel like this part's getting better, so now I'm moving down into this part. We'll probably try to get this tiny strand looking good soon. I'm just kind of preparing some of the area around it, so this way I'll have an easier time figuring out what's going on there. It's just a little bit easier to move things when the things around it are actually in a decent spot. And I can kind of trust where I'm putting it. That's the main reason I always like to start from the top and go to the bottom. So I start around something that has a clear, or that I know is correct, and I can use as a clear anchor point, which in this case is eyes. And to an extent, jaw. And then I just kind of radiate from there. So I started right around here, and now I'm just heading on down. Gonna go all the way down to the end. And what I'm looking at right now is there's a point where these two highlights kind of converge here, and then a shadow that digs in between them. And that is the area I'm trying to get right at the moment. This is another fairly decent landmark. Just because that the shadow that sticks out so well to me, and the highlight that sticks out here sticks out so well to me too, that I can really line things up using both of those. Hello there, Yechi Kitty. I am still just here trying to get these strands to cooperate with me. It is going okay. I say going okay, because this area is just kind of hard to work with. It is what it is. Well, congrats. Do you think you did okay in all of your exams? Well, good luck with that one. I hope you do well. What is causing this? Okay, now I think I see. I just need to put these more in a straight line. Trust in the straight line. Well, I mean, even when you're speaking your native language, diction and proper enunciation is all very important. A lot of people, this is actually more true of native speakers than people that speak it as a second language, tend to mumble their words or slur them together. And what you need for skills for public speaking are actually very different for what you need to actually speak the language. I don't know if that's what they're going for, but yes, there's a lot of reason to actually learn how to speak. It is a skill like any other, and improving it will indeed help you later in life, especially if you want to get into some kind of leadership position. Like my understanding of what prosecutors do, speaking clearly and effectively is extremely important. So I'd say that this is probably actually something very important for you to learn. Just based on what your personal goals are. I can tell you, since I started streaming, I speak way more clearly than I used to. And it took a lot of practice for me to actually feel a little bit more comfortable with it. Well, it's good if you to be comfortable in another language. Well, I mean, ideally, you shouldn't be crying and screaming much at all. Having a good handle over your emotions is also a very important skill. Especially if you want to be doing a lot of things around other people. People will get a lot less tolerant of crying and screaming as you get older. Alright, getting somewhere here. I still feel like there's a lot of things wrong, though. Art is hard. Art is so hard. Sometimes I wish it could be a little bit easier. But here we are. Things are the way they are. Most of the things that I'm seeing here are pretty small, though, but they're noticeable enough that I want to fix them, but also not easy to describe. It's just some stuff around the shape of the highlights and all of that, just some shapes right there. A little bit blobbier than they should be in some places, not as blobby as they should be in others, and certain parts still look like they're sliding down wrong. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to consulting the mesh over here. Alright, do you need to head off and do that? I see. Do you not normally match your own socks? Alright, let's see. How are these highlights doing in that area now? Still not shaped quite right. The highlight here is always a little bit finicky. It's very picky about its location. Always just wants to be in the perfect spot, and anything short of that is just not good enough. At least that's how I feel whenever I look at it. Some areas, I feel like I have a little bit more wiggle room, but this one knows what it wants and is not happy until it gets it. Okay, but this seems alright. Yeah. That seems fine. Okay, well, a victory to me who did not give up. So I guess I'll just keep working my way down. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do this tiny strand before I keep going out there. Just because this one's bothering me a little bit more. This one is actually pretty close to being okay. So let's get the one that is having a bit of trouble. Catch him up now. Let me see, is it lined up vertically okay? It is perhaps a little bit long, so I will keep that in mind as I start fixing the vertices in this area. So first I want to get this guy properly attached. There we go. I guess that makes sense. It probably makes sense for whoever's doing the laundry to take care of the socks. I see. Alright, so I'm gently sliding a bunch of these vertices upward and hopefully getting their spacing a little bit nicer in the process. Trying to pay attention to that, but when it comes down to it, it doesn't really matter how evenly spaced I managed to make them. What matters is that it matches what I had in the original mesh a little bit better. And that is actually what will give me good, clean shapes. So that's why I'm still consulting the mesh. Man, this is... I'm gonna have to fix over here before I can do anything more. That's okay, that's a good spot to do next, I think. So let's fix right over here so that this way I have some hope of getting that tiny strand. Absolutely perfect. So I gotta say that it's sliding quite a lot here. This is so wrong, I don't even know where to start. So I'll just start somewhere, I guess. Try to make it work. see what I can do. Okay, that's already doing so much better, and that was pretty quick. Sometimes I forget that when there's lots of really big problems that need to be solved, a lot of the biggest ones tend to be knocked out very, very quickly. And then it's just getting stuck in the details that takes most of the time. Good old 80-20 rule in action. One of the 80-20 rules, anyway. I always gotta remind myself to be a little bit less afraid of those places that seem really overwhelming, because indeed, I do fix, like, 80% of the problems within a few minutes. And then I bang my head against the wall for a really long time working on the details. I think that is a very accurate representation of how I do things. Because yeah, I feel like everything, once I got started, came together pretty quickly. And now I just need to get those last things to look nice. I'm just glad it's not another case of the lower left turn, where nothing was going my way when I was working on that. Nothing. But I eventually got through it, and now everything else is going a bit more smoothly, and it feels good. Art is great. It really is. So let's see. I think that part is getting pretty good now. Yeah, it's not really squirming around anymore. Over here definitely is. I still have some stuff I need to do over there. But that strand does tend to be pretty hard. So now I guess I can kind of perfect this little guy right there. Okay, yeah, now I can dig into him some more. So now everything around him is no longer squirming, and I should kind of be able to see what I'm doing just a little bit better. So I can see that the strand here needs to be just a tad thicker. That is definitely not right, but that's okay. That is a reasonable place to start. And I will continue looking at the vertices and just gradually push things into place. I do not expect this to be right, but I want to see if it's closer. Yes, it's a little bit closer. The shape of the strand has just always been a little bit weird. Even on the original, it's just really straight. Then on my side turns, I put in a cute little curl on it, so I need to align that cute little curl. Get it just right. Get all the little parts that are not perfectly straight curved just right. Always a bit easier said than done. But I've already got the top part, so now I just gotta push the bottom part into place. I'm gonna hide her body for a second because it's kind of making me have a tough time seeing the bottom of the tip. It kind of blends in with her skin a little bit. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so we're just gonna be in floating head mode for a second until I kind of fix some of this. But I could not see the tip of her hair against her skin tone. And this is much easier to see everything in. So now I should be able to adjust everything freely. But as always with these tiny strands, getting them just right is a bit of a pain. It is just not quite coming together. Even when I consult the mesh could not give me all the answers. Alas. But it did well enough, and I think it might be able to help me get across the finish line here, because I think only one vertex is a bit off here. Okay, it was more than one, but that's okay. I had the right idea. Alright, let's zoom out. I'll turn her body back on. And I'll see how this looks. Yeah, that seems pretty good. So, now we gotta scroll back up here, and now it is time to look over here at this little strand. Gonna consult the mesh one more time. Give myself an idea of what needs to be done here. There are definitely a few parts that are just really, really off, and I do not like it. Don't like it one bit. Man, moving these around is always a bit of a thing, though. Sometimes it feels like they don't know quite what they want, and I kind of have to feel my way through. But the mesh at least has some good ideas, so I can reasonably get started here. I'll probably have to use my eyes for many things, though, in order to really put the finishing touches on it. As you can see, I was not consistent in the width between these vertices at all. I mean, look how much longer it is here versus, like, right here. Being able to have that level of consistency and vertex placement is beyond what my puny human brain can handle. Need a computer. I wish to have a dialogue with the auto mesh. See what it can do to help me out. Okay, yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. So now I just need to get the very tip of this, and I think I will be done. Oh, that'll be pretty wonderful, honestly. I am so glad that I was able to finish the strand in one day. I was really worried before I got started on it. I thought it was going to be like the lower left where I just banged my head against it for 3 days, and I'm still not convinced it looks entirely correct. But it wasn't the case at all. This one just kind of worked out. The relief. Oh man. I feel like there is a certain weight coming off my shoulders here. Or I will just no longer have to think about this part. It can just be done. Okay, I think I got the top part over here looking good, so now I'm gonna work on the shadow at the bottom here. I think I have it mostly good. Just want to round things out here just a little bit more. Give it a little bit more meat here. It's funny, it's been remarkably consistent in all of the turns that the top needed to be a little bit thinner and the bottom needed to be a little bit thicker. So I just made that mistake on every single turn. It makes sense, because it's like if I made it once or twice on an important area, then that would carry on into each quarter too. Because the goal would be to line my corners up with whatever I did on my other turns, and, well, if I did that wrong, then of course it would... I would want to make the corners look like that. So that... and that would mean that they were wrong there, too. So it feels kind of nice being able to go back and fix everything up like this. Once again, I'm gonna hide her body. It is in the way. Go away. Okay. Now I can see a little bit better. The fact that it goes on to her, kind of her collarbone area, it makes it hard to see. Well, I mean, it makes it hard to see, so I can't do things. Gotta hide that body, so this way I can have that nice dark background to work against. So much easier. And I do enjoy making my life easier where I can. Life is hard enough, no need to make it more difficult than it has to be. And the body is just, like, totally irrelevant right now. It'll become relevant once I start doing body turns, which, with any luck, will be soon. Oh. Start moving her body around. But that is not today. So, it is wholly irrelevant to what I'm doing right now. And is thus just getting in the way. Yeah, there's a lot of vertices sliding around, which is probably contributing to why I can't get this strand to look quite right. So I'm gonna go ahead and push a lot of these little guys back up. And see if that helps what I'm doing at all. And I see this much vertex sliding, a lot of the time just fixing that can actually make a pretty big difference. So I'm gonna hone in on that for a second and stare at it very, very intensely. My eyes are just gonna burn holes through my computer screen at this rate. Pushed a lot of these little guys up a bit too high there, so having to push them back down. But that's alright. Mistakes are made sometimes. But I can fix it. It's not even that hard. Okay, let's see here. Like, there's definitely some blobbiness I'm gonna have to fix. But I want to see if everything is moving kind of the way I want it. Yeah. That is so much better. So the rest I think I can do with my eyes now. So I won't be consulting the mesh quite as much, if at all. And I'm just gonna try to start getting some of these guys to where I think they need to go. The very tip of the strand always just looks very blobby and weird to me, so I'm actually gonna check it before I do anything else. Yeah, okay. I think it's about there. I'm still so glad. It all just kinda ended up working out. I didn't have another 3-day nightmare of just internal screaming. Always a plus, you know? Definitely not out of the woods quite yet, but you know, it's fine. I'm getting through. I think I'm well on track to being able to finish this angle today. And while I was planning on doing this one next, I think I might actually do the hair over here first and just let's just do the entire left side of her head while I'm over here and I'm familiar with how everything over here is working. I figure I might as well. So that's the plan. Tomorrow, more left head shenanigans. Because today, I think I will definitely stop once I fix the tip of this hair. I am getting a bit tired and hungry. Honestly, I was a bit tired before coming on stream today. Perhaps I am still filling my head with too much Japanese. But I really want to learn the language. I am determined. I don't know if I'll ever speak it on stream, but having the option would be nice. Alright, I think I got the tips good, I think I got the bottom good. So now I just want to put the finishing touches on the top part where my scroll wheel still refuses to cooperate with me. Sometimes it does not seem to know what direction I am actually trying to scroll. Alright, that seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and turn her body back on. And I'll take a look. Okay, nope, not quite. Not quite. The shadow, still just a little bit off there. Yeah, I see it. And I think I know exactly what to do to fix it. Scroll wheel allowing. Just need to fix the angle of this, like, right there. Yeah, seems pretty okay here. Okay, and I think I can be happy with that. So let's go ahead and turn that hair back on. I'll leave the rest off for now. This one. That one needs to come on too. But the hair over her shoulder can stay off for now. And now her head movement just looks a little bit nicer in that area. I actually really do think it does. Yay! Hooray! So we'll see what the me of tomorrow thinks of what I did today. But for now, I think it's looking pretty alright. And I think I will stop here for today. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.